right, so first things first, let's jump into our statistics. I see a lot of coaches, and I won't mention names, they talk a lot about things and they don't show what they actually got with it. So yeah, that's a different topic. But right now, if you have a look at our stats, you can see that in April, we launched our first offer. And we spent $1,700 and we only made $3,000 back. So you can see 11th of April to the 8th of May. So it wasn't anything crazy. Got tons of book calls, but tons of them were canceled and lots of them were unqualified. So we had to switch up. We had to change our funnel. We had to change everything. I'm going to show you exactly what we did. But then you can see that we spent $3,400 on ads and we returned $22,600. So that was the massive shift that in 30 days we made this jump where we almost made $20,000 more in a single month. And I'm going to show you exactly what we did, but this is us on our new offer. Now, first things first is talking about the offers, right? How do people actually go about their offers? And you probably recognize a few of these faces and the brands, right? So here is an actual offer. You probably know about TJR, you probably know about this guy, and you probably know about this agency, King Kong, who's run by a shark from Shark Tank. And here's what they do. So the actual offer of TJR is that you will learn trading, right? So you can learn trading from him. And so that's not his actual offer. The marketable offer that he talks about, yes, you'll learn trading, but he makes a guarantee or makes an offer that he can talk about and he can market, which is learn how to make $10,000 in 90 days. That sounds marginally way better than just learn trading, right? Same as this guy, right? He helps creators monetize social media, but his marketable offer is not mentioning this. He's instead saying, hey, make $20,000 per month with your personal brand. That is way more appealing than monetize your social media. People need a kind of a monetary factor on top of that. Then if you take King Kong, for example, which is an agency instead of a creator or a coach. King Kong is an agency, one of the biggest in the world, and this is what they do. So they help you run ads. That's the simplest part. This is their actual offer, but their marketable offer is that they'll make you an extra $100,000 per month in 90 days or less. So we looked at all of these offers and we decided to structure it for our own. So what we did is we found an offer and we found a market that we could offer it to. So we do email marketing as our agency offer, but that's not what we talk about. What we talk about is how we're going to double your revenue in 90 days or we work for free until we do. So the difference between here is this is just fact, right? This is just a fact. This is outcome. So what a lot of companies focus on and what are the best outcome that you can focus on is talking about outcome instead of factual offer. So yes, you can help people, you can coach them to get a better body, you can get XYZ, but the offer lies in saying, hey, we're going to help you get a six-pack in 3 months or less, or you don't pay until you do. That is way more attractive than saying, hey, we're going to help you lose body fat. What does that mean? There's no tangible product attached to that. So we took that mentality and we built this as our marketable offer. This is what we mention on ads. This is what we mention everywhere. This is what we talk about on a call. So once we get them on the call, we go say, hey, so this is what we actually do. We help you with email marketing. We're going to help you scale your revenue. And this is the promise that we give you that makes you want to join us or get on the call. So this is super important to think about your actual offer versus your marketable offer. Now, once you have that figured out, it comes to the funnels. And what I've done, I've broken down King Kong's funnel because I think it is a great funnel, and I'm going to show you how we built our funnel as well. So with King Kong, what they do is they're going to run ads, and I'll show you the exact ads as well. They run ads and they lead you to this landing page. The landing page is the most important thing that you're going to build out. You've probably seen it tons, but this is the magic. So what you're going to do is you're going to have a landing page within your website. So if you use Webflow, you can just go create a new page and you're going to simplify it. You're going to have the logo at the top. You're going to have your marketable offer. You're going to have a headline. And then you're going to have a video introduction. So either a video, either some kind of catchy thing that will drive them in, that convinces them to take the next step, which is booking a call or getting a strategy session, right? So to put it simply, number 1, logo. Number 2, headline. Number 3, video. Number 4, CTA. And then they'll always show the 5th thing as testimonials or brands that they've worked with, right? Or places they've been mentioned to make them more marketable. From there, you're going to click this button and you're either going to go into a form or you're going to go to booking a call. Now, I'm going to explain this in a little bit more detail, but the reason why this works so well is because this matches the ad and it's very simple. Immediately, this is where companies go really wrong, right? they'll run ads for an offer, and then they land on a very complicated landing page. They can't have a clear CTA, and they also don't know whether it aligns with the offer they clicked on, so they click off. The reason this works so well is because the ad says something about exactly this. The headline matches the ad headline. So you click through, you land on this landing page, great, you see what you need to see, this is where I claim it, this is an explanation video, this is who they worked with, great, now I trust them. You click through, and then this is how you qualify your leads so that you're not wasting ad spend. So you're going to lead them through to a questionnaire. And you can see there's about 8 or 9 different questions over here, right? So if we go have a look over here, these are the different questions that you're going to go ahead and ask your callers. So to put it super simply, you are going to make sure that you're qualifying them. You want to ask about their revenue. You want to ask about what their business address is. You want to make sure that they're a legitimate lead, because Facebook will not always put you in front of the right people, but you can make sure you're in front of the right people instead of wasting ad spend. And that's what went wrong in month 1, and why we ended up with these stats where 62% of our callers were unqualified, and why we closed almost no one, and we had 102 cancellations. That was terrible offer, terrible alignment, and because we had no qualifying process. So if you're struggling with not necessarily attracting leads, but attracting the right leads, this step is going to change the game for you. You might see far less bookings, but that is better because they're going to be more qualified. So if we go down and we have a look at our landing page, you can see we literally built it exactly based on this. So what we did is we have a headline, we have our marketable offer over here. So you can see double your revenue in 90 days or less guaranteed. That's the reason they want to book a call with us. Then we have our CTA high up, and then we lead them to a video on the page that is optional. This is just explaining our system, explaining a little bit more about how we work, explaining a little bit more about the results we've gotten. The reason why we have this video in place is because we want to sell ourselves to them before getting on the call, so that on the call we can close them. So what a lot of agencies and coaches do wrong is they're very vague. It sounds interesting, but they need to get on a call to find out more. This video cuts through all of that. We say, hey, this is what we're going to be doing. This is how we do it. This is how much we usually charge. And this is who we've helped. So we've done all the qualifying, because what will often happen is your clients or leads will jump on a call with you and they want to know who you've done work for. They want to see testimonials. They want to know how much you charge. They want to know all these questions. We want to make sure that they're getting on a call and they're ready to take a deal because they already know enough. So that's why we also make sure that we mention exactly who we do not accept and who we cannot help. So you need to be doing at least X amount of dollars per month. You need to be doing at least XYZ to get qualified. And then we can cancel the ones that don't follow that, but also we don't get any unqualified bookings. So we get that. We put in this video, and then over here, we talk about who we've worked with. That's super important. Now, once they actually click on this button, they're going to go to a Calendly link, right? And this Calendly link is a sales guy or salesperson, and we ask a plethora of questions. So we're doing it differently. We don't want to add an extra step on the actual form itself. We want to make the form embedded with the Calendly, so it seems a little bit more seamless. We get a lot more call bookings this way. We have tested this, and this works better. And what we'll do on the side here is, again, we say this is who we do not help. This is who it's for. So we're qualifying them. And then we ask very important questions. Obviously, business name, number 1. Then we ask business website, so we can go and back check and make sure they're an actual website, because if someone doesn't have a website for us, they're not qualified. Then we want to get their phone number, because then we can follow up with them. We have multiple touch points if they do not book a call. Or if they're super qualified, they don't show, or whatever the case is, we want to follow up with them. Then this is the important question. This question is what will change the game for you. This we get, and we ask exactly what category of earning they're in. So we have our first category, and for most companies, obviously we're running a local based agency to test this, but what you would put is $0 to $10,000 per month. And that is kind of your cap on who is unqualified. If your cap of helping people is $30,000 per month, you want to make it that 0 to 30. And then you'll say 30 to 60, 60 to 100, 100 plus. So whatever your qualifying factors are. Then anyone who books this, we automatically cancel them. We save ourselves time. Anyone who books this, we want to keep following up with them. We want to make sure that we have those touch points. So we put them into a CRM, and we put them into a follow-up process. Then we also ask exactly what they sell, because we cannot work with certain companies, and also just to further verify and get some information about them that we can make the call a bit more personal to them. And lastly, we like asking this because this tells us a lot about the lead that we're bringing in. So considering our guarantee and our offer, how much capital are you prepared to invest upfront? I really like this question personally because this to me qualifies them way beyond all of these questions. A lot of brands can lie, a lot of brands can say a lot of bullshit. This cuts through all of that. So that is the exact funnel. Now, if you want to see a further funnel and how it all looks, this is how King Kong does it. They lead you to the page and then they put up this form. And this form they use a few different tools for, but you get started and then you have to enter all of this information. So this is how they lay out their questions, and you can kind of pause it if you want. You go through this whole process and they do the same thing, and then it will automatically say, hey, unfortunately, we can't help you. And or it will say, hey, you qualify, now let's get a call booked in. So you can either do it this way or you can do it our way, where instead of this being a separate step-by-step process, you just lead them straight into the Calendly. I like that way better, so it removes friction. But this is a great way to get more qualified leads. It just might cost you more. So that is how they do it. And then this is their second funnel. They do the same thing. It's just a different offer, and this is retargeting. So they will send their retargeting to a slightly different area. Now comes the good part of actually setting up the ads. And this is my favorite part because no one really covers this in detail. So here's what we do with our campaign. Our campaign, we just name it as Broadset, and then we make it a lead campaign objective. We choose the buying as auction. So this is the most important thing. You're setting it up as a lead campaign, okay? So what we're gonna do is we set it up as leads, and then we set our budget as $40. I like $40 because we don't see any difference when we double it compared to when it is here. Okay, and then no split tests, nothing crazy going on. And then we move on to our actual, our set, right? So this was our campaign, this is our set. You're gonna lead them to the website, and the website you're leading them to is your funnel. You're not leading them to your homepage. You wanna lead them to a specific location, and you're gonna set up your ad sets and your pixels. So let me go back to where we were and show you how we set up our pixels. What you're gonna do is you obviously want to track page views over here, okay? So this page views. So this is gonna be your page views, and what we're gonna do is we're also gonna track this as a lead. So page views, and then anyone that clicks this button is now a lead. Once they click that button, they're gonna go to the Calendly. But after the Calendly, we redirect them to a success page. And on that success page, we are tracking that as a website schedule, okay? So that's gonna be the website schedule. So it's that simple. Someone clicks this, we consider them a lead because we can't confirm if they've actually done this process. Once they fill out their details and schedule the event, it redirects them to a confirmation page. And on that confirmation page, so here's the confirmation page. From here, we mark this as a website schedule, okay? Schedule. So that is how we're tracking the event. There's nothing else. So there's no button on this page. It's just an extra video, again, talking a little bit more about our value. Super simple. And then we give them a step-by-step saying, hey, please watch this and confirm your call. It's extremely important that you, number one, confirm the time that you booked in. Number two, do X, Y, Z. So it's nice having that because we get less cancellations and we get less no-shows. So that's the most important thing. We don't want our time to be wasted. So most important thing is that you're tracking this event as a website schedule, because that is how we're tracking our success and monitoring our spend. So going back here, when you mark a website, you want to make sure that you are actually going to be leading them to that lead funnel page that you set up now. And this is how we set up. The performance goal, maximum number of conversions. Then we're going to leave it to the ad set that we're tracking those specific events that I just mentioned now. And the success metric is schedule. So that is how we're tracking everything. Now we just schedule immediately, and this is completely broad. We are not uploading lists. We're just choosing an age range, and we're choosing a location. We are not choosing any custom audiences, any custom interests, or anything. And this is our best performing ad set. So that is so important. So many people want to be too specific, and then they kind of shoot themselves in the foot. So just keep that in mind. Then going down, that is pretty much it. Now, when we go into the actual ad itself, this is where it gets good, right? And you can see how many reactions and how much engagement we've had on our ads that do super, super well. This is our best performing one. And I'll run through exactly what it looks like and how we did it. But here's the Facebook page. So we link it to our Facebook page, we link it to the Instagram page. And one of the key things that we did is we bought an Instagram page and we made sure that the Facebook and the Instagram were verified. It looks way more trustworthy, and also for people to see how many followers you have is way better. So you want to make sure it's a verified Instagram, Facebook, and that maybe you have a ton of followers. So you can leave that however you want. Then we upload a video. This has to be a video. Videos perform incredibly well. Still ads barely do well for us. Again, maybe that's just the way we set it up. We're leading them to that strategy page I mentioned, that funnel page that I mentioned. We have no add-ons, okay? So there's no add-ons here. And here's how we set up our creative. So we upload the video, and this is what the actual video looks like, right? The headline is what is the most important thing. So this is what people are going to pay attention to. What we like to do is we like to call out exactly who we're speaking to. So we're calling out, hey, South African brands. That's who we're targeting. For your case, it might be, hey, fitness coaches, hey, agency owners, whatever it is. And then I like to immediately call out exactly what our guarantee offer or our marketable offer is, right? So what we were talking about in the beginning. We're going to say double your revenue in 90 days. This immediately pulls them in. They're going to press play. That's the most important thing. And then we have our call to action at the bottom here. So we're saying, hey, this is who you are. Apply it to see if this works. And in the video, this is our exact script. So we're saying, hey, South African brands, I call them out in the first 5 seconds as well to match the headline and the offer. I say, South African brands, we will double your revenue in 90 days or less, or we will work for free until we do. Again, similar to the headline, in the first 5 seconds, we want to call out our offer, keep them on board, and then talk about testimonials. So we're going to say, hey, it's the same way that we scaled brand 1 to XYZ amount in a single month. It's the same way that we also scaled this brand and this brand. So we like to mention 3 testimonials or proof of concepts. Then we want to talk about a pain point. So if I can summarize this, it goes like this. Number 1, we want to call out who we're targeting. Then we want to talk about our offer, our guarantee. And then we want to show testimonial. And then we want to talk about pain points. And then CTA, right? So the pain point for our industry is, hey, there's so many unreliable agencies and they cost a fortune. So here's why we have our guarantee. So kind of touch on their pain point. If you're a fitness coach and you're helping people get abs, then a pain point for them is, hey, are you eating everything that you can and you're eating clean, but you're not getting those abs? Here's why. So those kind of things will go a mile for you. And then you want to give a CTA. And what we like to do as an additional is we like to talk about our minimum. So for example, our minimum is that brands doing 100K per month. We've actually changed this since for more qualification, but we like to also call out who our minimum is. Hey, coaches doing $10,000 per month. Hey, coaches, if you're stuck at X amount per month, or hey, hey, gym rats, if you, whatever it is, right? So you just want to call that out and call out their pain points. Then that is how our ad will look. We set it up as a video and we make a very short primary text. We say, South African brands, double your revenue in 90 days or less with 100% done for you. If we don't perform, you don't pay. Click learn more. Super quick, super easy, 3 sentences. We don't want to complicate it. And then we use all of the Advantage Plus creative text. And then this is how we do our headline. So again, just a really strong offer. And we say learn more as our call to action. And we're obviously tracking these events. So that's exactly how we've managed to book over, I think it was 162 calls in the span of May. So actually 179. Of course, we had to cancel 89 of them that were unqualified, and also we reached capacity. So we had to cancel the last week of calls. We only had 12 no-shows and we had 15 golden leads. So that's what we consider as qualified leads. These are people that are making over kind of our maximum capacity. And those are the ones we really want to send value to. So hopefully this gives you a good idea of how we build out our ads and how you can get more clients, more leads, and more sales without having to spend more. That's the most important thing. So with that, hope you enjoy this. Go down below, and if you are a coach or you are an agency and you're wanting to scale, then go down below, book in a call. I offer one-on-one mentorship, and you get access to a great program. But I'm actually going to work one-on-one with you. I don't just hand you off to a course. I don't like course sellers. That's why I want to give you as much value as possible. And if you want to elevate your game and work one-on-one intimately with me, then we can go ahead and do that. But for now, I'll see you in the next one.